And so the driving question for this video is, do your assignments reinforce or work against your teaching? Okay, so I want you to think about that as I was pondering this as a football coach in regards to how we use this thing called conditioning. Conditioning. And so for the people who, I mean, I'm sure people know what this is, but let me just give a definition. Conditioning is basically getting a student's body ready to play, right? And so you're gonna so a lot of it is due to you're gonna run, you're gonna do push-ups, you're gonna do strength training and all of this stuff, and a lot of those things. Normally conditioning is normally associated with cardiovascular stuff, not necessarily strength-based stuff, right? And so that's conditioning. That's what we say when we use this phrase conditioning. And so what I found out though, and I'm just look, I'm telling you, I'm talking about me. It's like if other coaches I know are going to understand this, but I'm really pondering this for myself as a teacher of looking at conditioning, and that we actually use conditioning both as punishment and something that we want them to do in order to help them improve themselves. Well, think about that. So I'll give you an example. And so at the end of our Monday practices, we run 6 200-yard dashes. We're going to do those 6 200-yard dashes no matter what. Are y'all with me? For real. It's no matter what, we could have had the best practice ever. We could have had the worst practice ever. We're going to do those 6 200-yard dashes no matter what. All right. So that's conditioning. That's conditioning. And the reason why we're doing that is because we want them to be good football players. We want them to be, we don't want them to be gassed out in the fourth quarter and they not be able to perform. You get what I'm saying? Right. And so then but we use it also as punishment. We use the same thing also as punishment. And so if a player comes late to practice, we'll make them do these things called burpees, or what we call them up downs, where it's you chop your feet, you do this with your feet, right? And then you drop to the ground, hit your chest to the ground, and then you have to pop back up. It's kind of like a burpee, right? And so, but anyway, but we'll do something like that. We'll have them run 40-yard dashes. We'll have one of them. I still don't understand why we do this one, but or why some folks have done this one, was to have them roll all the way across the field. That one has made people sick, but whatever you want to do, coach, get it. But check this. So this is what I'm trying to think of. If we want students to condition themselves to be better at the game, why do we use that same thing as punishment? That's my thought. I feel like we're sending contradictory messages here. It's yo, hey. I mean, think about if we use that with spanking. Right? It's I'm going to spank you as punishment. But hey, child, I really want you to spank yourself so that you'll become a better person also. No, that's not going to work. You're never going to do that in your whole life. You're never going to spank yourself. I shouldn't say never, but I'm just saying, you're probably not going to spank yourself. But yo, straight up, I mean, think about that. And so I'm thinking about that in regards to my teaching and going man, are there some things that I'm doing in my classroom that are sending contradictory messages? This is the one that I see the most with my teaching folks, is that this is with the utmost love and respect. There's a time and a place for every technique, okay, in teaching, all right? It's just that if your main emphasis is critical thinking, it's and that's what a lot of my colleagues would say, especially in the social sciences, man, we want people to critically think. We want people to critically think. It's critical thinking, that is absolutely fundamental to our discipline. And I'm and I agree. As a sociologist, no doubt that critical thinking is key. Question, what do your tests look like? Because with the utmost respect, if your emphasis is critical thinking and your tests are just multiple choice tests, that's not the best space to test critical thinking. Multiple choice, there's a purpose, there's a place, there's always a place and a purpose for everything. And so I get that. So I'm not knocking multiple choice tests. I give multiple choice questions myself. What I do though is I use my multiple choice questions, because I wrote it myself, as more of a study guide. And so I literally give my students the multiple choice at first, and then they have a whole week to do it with the book, and they can work in groups and all this stuff. And so I'm really looking for something different than testing them on it. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them to, read. Oh, amazing, crazy as that might sound. And so then, like I said, coming back to, if your main thing is critical thinking, but your main assessment is multiple choice tests, those are not working well together. One of the only real ways of testing critical thinking is to get them to write. And I know that a lot of my colleagues know that. And so I'm not saying that to say that teachers don't know this. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of times that we as teachers can get into a space where we're really not thinking about connecting those two spaces together as much as we are trying to do the thing that's simplest for us to do so that we can get done with the drudgery. For me, it's drudgery. I don't know. Some people might like grading. I don't know. Maybe that's like spanking yourself to me. But, but straight up, some people like it. But to me, a lot of us as teachers, we want to just try to do, just like, like I said, we want to get it over with as fast as possible. And so multiple choice tests become the vehicle. But the thing is that those two things, I would argue, are contradictory. Or at least they don't work as well together as we would hope. In regards to critical thinking, and then, like I said, in multiple choice tests. And so, this is, like I said, it's something that is absolutely baffling me. And hopefully by the end of the season, I have a better answer for you, because right now, look, for teaching, I got that. But for coaching, I don't know what to do on the punishment side of this if it's not conditioning. I mean, straight up. And so hopefully with a little bit more time, I'll figure it out. But right now, honestly, I'll take your suggestions on it, folks. Let me know what you think. Take it easy.